Welcome YouTubers to Raiden Gaming, and in this episode is our first ever review, and we're going to be reviewing Fortnite. It's on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. What you're seeing right now is the front screen that you get when you first start the game. As we hit continue, we'll get right into it, and we'll see how things roll now.
Easy go.
As we see right now, it's this early access, so everything that I'm saying right now cannot reflect solely on how the game acts. But what I can tell you is that the loading times are horrific for this game. You can set at a loading screen for about 1.5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes tops. Doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it is. What you're seeing now is we get ready to look at the managing of the profile, and we get to select if we want, friends to play with, or if we want to make a new banner, what color we want, what we want the banner to look like. But here in a second, we're going to jump into some gameplay right now. Most of the gameplay that you come across is open world. It gives you a map you go into, and you can go around the map and select things and pick up things. And one thing to mention about the game is that when you start to mine for objects such as the bricks here, or the wood, or the steel, they travel with you back and forth throughout the map. So you don't have to continuously get it, and you can store that information or that material at your home base inside the computer. Now there's assortments of different weapons. Right now you're seeing an LMG. There's handheld weapons. There's pistols, shotguns, sniper rifles. Then there's different types of traps. Everything you can come across. What I'm doing right now is I'm helping one of the survivors in the map so we can bring them home, back to our home base. The game is a grind fest. That is one of the most things about it that I enjoy the most, since I played Destiny quite a bit back in the day. Some of the other things to take mention in is when you go into these little survivor expositions right here and you're trying to bring one of the survivors home, just like with any other game, you have a group of enemies that come in different sections. So you'll have, they're husks. So you'll have one set of husks come in, and then another row of husks come in, and then so forth and so on until you finally get the entire group taken out. And when you do get them taken out, it'll come up to where you can actually talk to that survivor. The game is extremely fun. It's very addicting, and I've been playing it since it came out for early access, which you can also get very cheap right now on the PlayStation Store, at least, for $39.99. It is out for PC. Epic Games is the game group that makes the game, so you may have to go through them to buy it, as it's not been findable on Steam or any other game profile. Throughout the city, you can collect different materials: bolts, steel, wood, bricks, and all sorts of other things. And then we'll get into this here. You have an entire skill tree set. You have a skills tree set, and you also have what's called a tech tier, or a tier tree. So these different elements to the game bring everything together. So you have a little bit of a grind fest where you have to go out and get your materials, and on top of that you also have another section where you can build your character up. Now there's different characters you can select. As you can see, the one that I was playing as is the constructor, or the one that can do a lot more different things than some of the others. They're more of the tankier type character that you use. And now we're taking a look at another tree for tier 1. And that tier there will go all the way to tier 2 once you get enough items unlocked, as you can see on the right side there. Another thing to take into effect is you get loot, and it's in the form of pinata llamas. Now the pinata llamas, as you'll see here later on in the game, you can break them open and they give you different types of gear. The map is fairly large, at least with 10 pages of objectives to do per area. And this is just one of the areas of, I think, 5 that they have in the game.
Hello to you.
So right now we're taking a look at the llama pinatas, and you can see it also drops candy, but we also get the cards for different characters in which you can use and upgrade and place around your home base.
Little llama, big loot.
The loot that you get in the game goes anywhere from common to uncommon, all the way up to legendary, which is your top tier.
Treasures.
Anybody that's played Destiny in the past will understand that concept when they say common, uncommon, epic, rare, and legendary. So all that plays into effect on how strong your weapons are and what type of character can use them. Now we get into some gameplay where you're at your home base and you have to defend it as you activate the storm shield to allow it to expand more so you can actually take back the land that the zombies and the storm has taken over. This whole section here, we're going to be upgrading part of the base. We're going to put one of these amplifiers in, and we're going to build around the amplifier to protect it from the horde that comes in once you activate the shield. So you can see you have a different assortments of what you can do. You can place blocks on the ground. You can place walls. And you can make them anything you want. From this point right here, we're just going to do some normal 4x4 blocks. And with the 4x4 blocks, you'll see that it just creates a floor that we can actually put items on, such as the traps. And as I finish this out, I'll show you some other things that we can also do. I also have BM Havoc with me. He's helping me with this build. We were going to be on comms, but at the time of this recording, he was not on comms. Or I wasn't on comms with him.
Right, can you hear me?
And what I'm doing right now is I'm actually sending Havoc a message telling him that we are recording this, and we'll go along from that there. But as you can see, the ground plots that you place these items on, it takes over, and you can actually customize them any way you want. You can put 3 blocks, 2 blocks, 1 block. You can make it 4 blocks wide, 2 blocks wide. Same goes for like the walls and stuff as we go here, and I'll show you just in a moment. When you go to put walls up, you have stairs, and you also have ceiling pieces, and then you have traps. But with the walls, you have the option to go through and customize them how you want. Now, the way you do this is when you place a wall down. As you see, I just took out the center. That creates a door. So now you have an automatic door in place. As I'm going to place 3 of those here so we can get a kind of a 360 way around into this area. Now, if you don't want doors, you fill that middle section back in and it'll go to a normal wall. Same way it goes is if you want windows, you just remove the centerpiece of that wall in the customize area, and it'll also make window areas. Some other things to note is once you get these building blocks up, you can upgrade those blocks again, and it makes them stronger. So wherever they stop at now with their HP, you can take those and upgrade them into a higher HP area, making them much stronger and much durable against the attacks. As you see here, I go through quite a bit. And just doing the materials itself, it doesn't seem like it takes a whole lot of materials, but once you start building a larger area, the materials that you've collected dwindle down very, very quickly. As you can see, I'm boxing all this in, leaving the traps in place in case they do break the wall. And then we'll just put a door on this backside here. Now, the next step that I plan on doing is I think I'm going to put a door here and get us outside. And now I'm going to put a door here and a door right here. And let's start to make these into windows. So just so we can look outside. My plan was to stay inside the building so we could shoot out. And that way, when the zombies came up the hill, we could actually take and not have to go outside. We could stay inside the building and shoot them. But it's a fun take. It's not something that kids would be scared of if they played it. It's a very fun, cartoony type game. If you ever played a Borderlands in the past, it seems like a Borderlands game at the most. Has not as much funny moments like Borderlands does, but it does have its moments where you kind of want to laugh a little bit and have a good time. And I start to put double stairs here, but then the problem becomes when I go to lay down the ceiling pieces, or what I'm actually doing is laying down more flat pieces, which is basically flooring. The stairs get in my way. So I start to notice that I want to kind of enclose this area a little bit better. So I put one right here. As I fill all this in, just to make sure, because there's certain zombies out there that can throw things and it'll actually go over the wall and hit the pieces inside the walls. And so you have to make sure that everything is completely enclosed for which it'll hold. And then, yeah, right here I go to put down, and I'm like, no, you know what, I don't need this big hole. So I end up taking and getting rid of the steps here at this one point. Note to mention that when you are hitting items, the little target piece that comes up, it'll actually give you a boost and do more damage to an item as you're hitting it with the pick. And then we'll fill this last little bit in. One thing I did do for this build right here is, as you can see right now, we're going to make smaller walls as they are easily placed. I'll show you just in a moment. Nope, maybe not. So we get straight to the traps. And one thing to mention about the traps is you cannot place them on windowed walls, so you have to make sure that those walls are in place as normal standard walls. Now, once we get these set up here, guys, some other things to mention here just in a second once we get the walls up and done and get these traps placed in the right sections. What I'm going to show you next is we have to allow somebody access to do things with your map or with your home base. Some of the other things, once that's done, Havoc can now go around and actually do things to the base. And what you see me doing right now is I'm upgrading. This is the upgrade from standard to level 1.
Sorry.
And now what that'll do is that'll make the HP a lot stronger. As you can see the difference on how the building materials go up into place. It's more formed. It's not just pieces of metal jumbled together or bricks put together that's still got like holes in it. It's actually starting to come together to look like real building material as we get into this. And it's just part of this game. As you play, you start to learn a little bit more as you go along. And it doesn't take a whole lot out of it. So one thing about the game is it's very enjoyable from the time you start playing it until the time you go to bed. Sometimes in the last couple of days I've stayed up late night trying to play this to get more understanding of how it works out. But we'll give it a minute and let you guys see the process that I'm going through right now is upgrading everything and how quick it goes, and then we'll get back. Guys, we're back. Now we look right here, we got these defender packages here where it's actually like a little portal that you can bring in specialized units. I'm putting a sniper down, and then I decided to bring in the commando, because the commando has a little bit more firepower when it comes to the type of things that person can do. The only thing about this particular character, or any of the characters at the most, is you have to make the weapon for them and then drop it on the ground. So what you're seeing now is me drop the weapon. They get only 30 rounds. So what we do now is I'm going to make more ammo. So I figure out the type of ammo type that it takes, and then we're going to go from there and drop this person a ton of ammo. As you can see, it's the 3 type piece right there, and we got different ammo types for different things, from energy weapons to sniper rifles to shotguns to pistols and assault rifles. So as right now I'm crafting, I'm making more ammo, and I try to make them a lot during these right here because this person is going to be defending this side over here solely alone. So once I get in, I go to the ammo that I want to drop, I select drop, and it's going to give me an option of how many I want to drop. So I'm just going to drop the 337 and give that to the commando and let them do what they need to do. Now, if you can see across from that, there's also a healing pad that if you stand on that, it'll heal your character over time. And we're starting to get ready for things, guys, as we get ready to finish this little section up. I'm going to let this play out, and then I'll come back as soon as it gets ready for the fun part.
Shield power increasing. Prepare for an attack from the south.
Okay, here we go. And what we're seeing right now is the first attack. And I'm not going to let this go too long, but I'll let you guys watch some of the type of fighting that goes on here. And you can see right now I'm setting things up for the fight. And this is just one of the enemies that we'll have to face as we take our way with these zombies as we go into this. So, first set of defense is coming on. I'm going to place this item down here just in a moment, and you'll see that it really, what it does is it takes the base and makes it electrified. So when people attack it, it does damage to them over time. So this guy here, he likes to break walls. Extremely hard to kill early game, unless you have like a full crew doing things all at one time. And that's one thing about the constructor that I really enjoy is the constructor can kind of reinforce the base a little bit, make things really nice, make everything nicer. But I'm going to let this play out, let you guys see some of the footage, and then I'll come back. And we got the little bit of last part of this coming up now, guys. And what you'll see is it takes time. I've cut some of the video down just so you guys can see some more of the footage. But if I would have let it play out, we'd have been looking almost an hour's worth of footage. It takes usually about 10 to 20 minutes to do these types of fights here, from start to finish. You know, building up, getting all your stuff upgraded, getting the materials you need, and then doing the fights. It's all fun. The fights are probably the more fun part of the game, but also doing that grind to get the items you need to make your base, knowing that you're doing something in-game to make things a lot better, as helping others in the game goes, is a great feeling. So, I'll let you guys watch the last little bit of this play out, and then I'll get back with you. And there we go. We just beat the game. Well, at least for that part of the mission. And we get a victory, and our shield gets expanded, and when everything goes out. Guys, I've enjoyed this review. The game itself I've enjoyed. I've enjoyed playing it over the last couple of days that it's been out. It is also in early access as a reminder, so there is going to be issues from time to time. As far as I go, I give it a solid 7 out of 10, with more room for improvement as future content and updates come out. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment. Let me know how I did. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, guys, Raiden Gaming is out.